All right, and we are live. My name is Jared Sparr. I'm with the Restaurant Business Advisors Group, and I am the founding member. And this is the module on menu design, including tips and tricks on how you can save money not only when you open your restaurant, but ongoing. And I just want to kind of iterate that so many new restaurants have an idea that they want to include in their menu, but they don't have a test kitchen or somewhere that they can actually work on and developing it, especially when it comes to doing mass amounts and understanding how mass production works and the cost of that. And in our interview today, we found a outstanding resource, someone that can provide exactly that, which is a free test kitchen, supplies, and everything you need to make sure that you're pricing your menu correctly, plus developing the menu. So we're going to get into that in just a little bit. And before we start, I wanted to tell you guys that, or more so ask you a question. Did you know that 9,000 restaurants or brand new restaurants fail every single year in their first year of business? And it's true. And that's kind of why we created this series of modules of information on how you can basically create a restaurant idea and take it through so that you're opening and you're successful and you're succeeding against all the odds. You can also go to the restaurantbusinessadvisorsgroup.com to get more information on training and videos and get some of our insider tips and tricks on how you can make your restaurant successful. All right, so my name is Jared Sparr, and I'll be your presenter today. As I said before, I'm the founding member of the group, and my specialty is cash flow. My tagline is "I'm a life preserver for your cash," or "I'm a life preserver for your cash flow." And we'll be interviewing Nick with Cisco Systems. I've been working with Nick for probably about 3 years now, and I'm just amazed every day at the information that he provides, not only for me, for my customers, but to his customers directly. So if you want to get in contact with Nick directly, his information is on the screen. His phone number is 734-812-6867. And Nick, can you tell me a little bit about how you got started in the business?
Yeah, I guess it started. I always enjoyed working with food and dealing with people, and then it just spun off into had to turn that into a making a living. So I like working in the kitchen. I like getting down into the menu and what makes a restaurant works. So just dealing with the customers works well for me, and whatever we can do to make a restaurant succeed is what we do. Whatever customers need is what we provide everything a restaurant would use, I guess is the best way to explain it. And the best fit for me was Cisco because they top out at the highest end that a broadline food service distributor can provide. So that's why I started with Cisco, and just an overall passion for food is what drove me to this line of business.
So Cisco's like the Cadillac of the industry.
Yeah, there's definitely you can buy food from everywhere, but what Cisco does to set themselves apart, I guess individual sales reps, if you will, like myself, I find it better to consult and partner with the restaurant. That way, it creates a much better working relationship. Because if I'm gonna sell a product, if a customer is gonna purchase a product, it's got to be mutually beneficial. It's got to be priced effectively for the menu. It's got to make sense all the way around. Otherwise, nobody's gonna win.
Exactly. And how long have you been doing this, Nick?
Been doing it 8 years.
Wow.
Went to Michigan State, got my 4 years, did my internships, and been with Cisco ever since.
So it's not a fly-by-night operation for you. And then
No, no.
your territory is geographic inside of like Metro Detroit. Tell me more about specifics on that.
As far as where my territory's at,
Yeah.
well, I'm in and out of Metro Detroit. I get into the Ann Arbor area, Dearborn. I pretty much anywhere a restaurant is located in the state of Michigan, as well as nationally we do business with. I'm right outside Metro Detroit, Ann Arbor, and if there's somewhere that I can't get to, I'd be happy to recommend somebody within Cisco that would be able to provide hands-on assistance.
Perfect. So that was my next question was if it's not in your territory, who can they contact? So we can have people contact you and you can make that referral form, right?
Definitely. Yep.
All right, cool. So let's get started. And the question I had was, where do we start? Because Cisco does a lot. And I wanted to kind of explain that when I spoke with Nick before, the Cisco is kind of a one-stop shop for restaurant owners, not just for as they're in operation, but before they open. So you definitely want to talk to Nick before you open your restaurant. And when we were talking earlier, he was telling me a little bit about how Cisco offers design in their test or menu design in their test kitchen. You guys offer equipment sales and installation. You work with the health department in the restaurant on how to get their approvals, and you guys even provide guides for the health department, which is amazing. So our goal today is to kind of go through a couple of those things and specifically to concentrate on what the restaurant owners have as pitfalls, what are the common mistakes that brand new restaurant owners make, and how you can help them avoid those mistakes and save them a ton of money. So the first thing I
Right.
want, yep, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah, the first thing I wanted to
Sorry.
talk about was the sales of the layout installation. So more so for the equipment and getting the design and layout and where, how you guys fit into that and when to bring you guys in. So tell me a little bit
Okay.
about what you guys do as far as equipment goes.
Yeah. As far as equipment and anything else that a restaurant would need, we have a what we call eye care partners, which is a series of businesses that partner with us and also with our customers to offer discounts for anything that the restaurant would need. In addition to, we have our own in-house marketing and business resource managers. For instance, if a restaurant were to get started up, we have setup guides for all of your equipment, whether it be smallwares and your large equipment, and we partner with companies that come in and that have been doing it for 30 plus years that'll come in and set up your restaurant for you, make sure everything fits. The last thing you want to do is get ready to open and the fridge, the door is on the wrong way, so it's going to interfere with other pieces of equipment. So we have people that have that all set up for you, in addition to your back of the house, your front of the house manuals. We can provide templates for all of that. So it's, like you said, one-stop shopping. Um, and then it just goes on from there into once you're all set to do your menu, you come into our test kitchen. We line up everything for you. Anything that you're slightly interested in seeing, we pull out of the warehouse with our corporate chef, and the customer is more than welcome to get in the kitchen as well. And we show you those products, and we give you applications for. Uh, we try to show you certain products that you can use in more than one application. Last thing we want is a product sitting on your shelf and going bad on you. So we show you multiple applications for one single item, and then we also price it out for you. We give you a complete menu analysis on every item on your menu to make you the most profit as possible.
Gotcha. So bring you guys in definitely before the restaurant's open and actually when you guys are before the building stage, more so on the planning stage. And I think you also said that you guys are very knowledgeable with local, I don't want to say municipalities, but like counties as far as health standards, like and the number of sinks and ceiling tiles and stuff like that. So you can offer assistance and guidance on that end as well, right?
Yeah, the equipment suppliers that we deal with, they are aware of all the local and government specs for the restaurants, in addition to our chemical supplier, which is Ecolab. When the health department comes in and sees that the restaurant is partnering with Ecolab as well as Cisco, they tend to back off a little bit, knowing that you're going to have the proper labels or on your sinks, you're going to have the proper fill levels in the sanitation concentrate, because Cisco wouldn't be a national and publicly held company if they didn't have the proper systems in place. For instance, with the chemicals, and the reason why the health department likes it so much is it's all controlled. There's a lot of the chemicals they provide are solid, and they're all dispensed through a system. So they make it kind of foolproof that one push of a button fills the sink, and there's no other thought process needed, and it's also most economical for the customer that way.
See, that's what I like. I mean, it just kind of, that's the big question mark that a lot of new owners have is how do I get past the approval process? And I think you guys are really outstanding as far as walking them through that. And you kind of brought it up a little bit before that you even provide guides where a new restaurant owner can pretty much just copy their name or their PDF with their logo into that guide, and now they have their guide on how they how they perform. So that measures everything and reports everything and all the standards that they need to get their health department approvals.
Exactly. There's a lot of restaurants get started and they haven't thought about the manuals, and those can be quite cumbersome to put together. So we provide a template so that way you can go through, and most of the generic wording, if you will, is already laid out for you, and you can just adjust it to best fit your particular restaurant. So,
Very cool. I think you guys would save a new restaurant owner a ton of time and a ton of money. Are there any like tips that you can give us as far as common mistakes that new owners make that you guys help them overcome?
well, common mistake, I guess that goes back to the whole partnering thing. Sometimes restaurant owners want to just get started, and they will take a menu, couple menus from local, what they consider to be their competition, and they will create menu items based off that as well as pricing. Um, the most interesting thing that I found is a lot of times these menu items are priced based on where they think they should be, not based on what their actual costs are. And let's say just for example, a chicken breast sandwich, they'll just price it at $5.99, not knowing how much their buns costing them, the lettuce, the tomato, if there's a pickle, if there's ketchup, mustard, onion, or the fries or chips that may accompany that. So we try to account for everything because that's going to affect your bottom line at the end of the day.
Yeah, and we talked about that before as well, where I think you explained it to me as a new owner walks into your facility. They say they have an Italian restaurant. You kind of have a little briefing with them to pick their brains a little bit, and then you can help them develop their menu so there's commonality, so they don't have products that they only use in one product and throw away, but also you will have that new restaurant owner can walk out with a script pretty much with photos of what that information is for that menu item. So when they do open, if they did forget anything, it's all written down, and then their chefs can follow that formula, and they know that they're profitable.
Yeah, when a customer comes in, like I said, we lay everything out, we price it out, we create a menu item, we take a picture, so you have a picture, you leave with a picture, you leave with that menu item completely priced out. In addition to, we also take you through our facility. Everything's open, and we encourage people to walk through and also check out any local or other competition, uh, any other vendors that they would like to do business with. We encourage them to investigate, to take a look. We do the same with our meat company and our seafood company. We encourage visits frequently, so people have all their questions answered and they see exactly where the products are coming from. One of the biggest things is having everything temperature controlled, and we're inspected by the FDA, but we also do our own independent inspections for our warehouse because we want to make sure everything is up to par. Um, it's just all the way down the line from produce from the fields. We only anything that we pack in our brand, and I don't want to sound elitist about this or anything, but it's just you want to be comfortable where your food's coming from because the last thing you want is your customers to get sick. Everything we do is we have a hold harmless on any products that we carry, meaning that if it's some lettuce from a field, we can tell you exactly where that field came from, who packed it, and who was working on that particular day. Same thing with your ground beef. I know there's been a lot of issues with ground beef, and we can pinpoint that to the farm, to the farmer, and to the day when that cow may have been slaughtered. So
Wow.
all that stuff adds up at the end of the day. Yep.
So that little bit of extra research in the beginning saves a lot of time and effort on the end.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Well,
after the restaurants open, so now that they're up and running, you guys offer a ongoing food cost kind of a consistent basis. You guys do some monitoring there. And I know that the restaurant business in general is pretty tough. It's pretty competitive, and that prices also fluctuate, which makes things even more difficult. So how do you guys work with restaurant owners throughout the year on that menu cost to make sure that they're still making money?
going along with the menu analysis we talked about earlier, we have a system that we plug that into the system. Your cost, let's say January 1, in the middle of the year in July, you want to know, hey, am I still making money on this dish, or do I need to raise my cost or my pricing? So we just update the system. Everything's updated automatically, and I can let you know where you're at. What we do suggest is that you do, change your pricing at least every year. Some people do their menus every quarter. Just depends on what your particular focus may be. But the last thing we want to do is have you have an item on your menu that you're losing money on.
Yeah, I think most business owners or most restaurant owners, after a year or so of staying at that same pricing when they open, don't realize that they're losing money in spots. So benefit.
Exactly. There's a lot of. Well, I just want to elaborate. There's certain like if there's a pack size change on any item we carry, or uh, sometimes the people lose focus of portioning certain items on their menu out. So that's something we, going along with partnering, we just try and make sure we're all on the same page. Yep.
That I can believe. I'm amazed at, when you go to a franchise restaurant, how the plate's totally different as far as size and portion goes from one restaurant to another. So I think monitoring
Yeah, if
there makes a
somebody
big
gets
difference.
if I go to dinner with my buddy and he gets a bigger chicken breast on the plate than I do at the same table, same seating, it no nobody likes to see somebody else getting more than they do.
And then you talked about one-stop shopping when we met before too. And first thing I wanted to ask you is, in one-stop shopping, what different products do you offer when it comes to one-stop? I know we talked about equipment, but then there's a lot of other ones. Can you list those for me?
Yeah, it's anywhere from your equipment to your paper and disposables, dairy, produce, seafood, meats, poultry, your can and dry items. And then also, like we talked about, the large equipment and any chemicals that you may need. I may have missed one or two items in there as well, but we encompass anything that a restaurant owner would need. We also take it a step further. Even though we are a broadline distributor, we take it a step further that within our meats, we also do custom cut meats. If you want ribeye on your menu and you want to do a fillet of ribeye where you just take the heart of it, we do that as well. We also do such different cuts as the top of the ribeye, the spinalis. We also have that package. So any kind of unique items you may want to carry as well, we do that also. We also
That's
have a
cool.
company, European Import. We can't stock every single item. So if it's a unique item, we can get that item to you in 3 to 5 days. So
Wow.
you don't have to go elsewhere. You can just pay on one invoice and get everything you need, including all those special, unique little items.
Yeah, which is something I just learned. So that's good information
Yeah.
for sure. And then also one of the benefits, not specifically of working with you, but just working with a supplier in general, of having one-stop shopping. I mean, for me, the obvious one is that you eliminate the redundant costs. You're not paying for like two delivery charges, for example. Tell me a little bit more about the benefits of using one stop, having dealing with one provider.
Well, the reality of the situation is every company that may be coming to your back door has to get paid. I don't think profit is a dirty word, and everybody's got to make money. So the benefit to that is you're getting the best pricing because with the more that you buy. And same with your customers if they were to come to you uh, or to a restaurant owner and want to do a large catering job. The more you purchase, the better pricing you get, and we operate in the same way. So the more somebody can provide us, then we can provide a better cost because our costs are then distributed out, and it's delivery. We can be there at a certain delivery time. We can offer a lot more services.
So it's economy of scale, but also because you guys are bigger, you can provide a lot more because you don't have, I won't say you don't specialize, but you specialize in numerous things.
Yeah, and the more we partner with a certain restaurant, like let's say they have their staff coming in at 9 o'clock in the morning to prep out for the day, then the last thing they want is their delivery to come in at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's something we realize, and as time goes on, we keep making more and more strides to answer what the customer wants. If they want a 9 o'clock delivery, we say, hey, we need to have everybody set up on delivery schedules. And of course, that's going to change as time goes on, but we try to be as close to that as possible to hit that window. Also, in partnering with our customers, we realize that customers want to get into their technology more. Everybody's got an iPad these days. So one of the things that Cisco Corporate has done is develop programs. For example, on your iPad, you can do all your inventory and calculating systems right on your iPad. There's many applications that you can just download, and I don't think any of our competitors are doing stuff like that, as well as ordering straight from your iPad, which
Wow.
is just brand new to us, and I'm just getting my hands wrapped around it. But it's a pretty unique program, and a lot of my customers are excited.
So it's got like a min and max, so they can delegate that and not have to worry about their manager ordering too much, but it also kind of directly ties into you guys to place that order. That's awesome.
Yeah, and they can set up their inventory exactly how their particular restaurant's laid out. It makes it pretty easy and have all their PARs and ordering systems. So uh, let's say they have a new person coming into that job, everything's laid out, and it reduces the amount of mistakes. Which in a restaurant, there's a lot of things that pop up every day. So.
Yeah, to me it's a difficult business because there's so many different things to manage. Besides, some retail store you don't have you don't have to deal with perishables, but there's so many different areas in a restaurant to manage, and it's unbelievable.
Mhm.
One thing that I wanted to ask you is, I think Cisco, like we said earlier, is the Cadillac of the industry. Uh, Sometimes restaurant owners want to go the cheap route and get the cheapest prices on things, and that's not always the best thing to do because in doing that, I think in a lot of cases what you're doing is cutting off your nose to spite your face. You're not getting the best value. So tell me a little bit about why someone would choose you guys specifically, why they would choose, how what questions you would ask to choose a consultant and a provider.
I think the question you have to ask yourself, and I've had customers that choose the cheaper route, and some continue to go that way. Um, but you have to ask yourself, what are the most successful chain restaurants doing? And I don't like to compare any independent restaurant to a chain, but I think it's important to mention they have systems in place and they don't have 10 different suppliers coming to the back door. And there's a very good reason for that because
Okay.
they don't have the consistency, the quality, and the pricing is not there. If it made sense, then I think a lot of these people would be doing it. So the benefits you have is you have all of our resources devoted to you and helping your business succeed. It's what's the
Yeah.
best way I can put it? You have let's say you have a pizzeria that charges $10+ for a pizza, and people love that pizza. Now, if they start using a less expensive pizza sauce, less expensive cheese, then their business, I mean, their customers are not dumb, and they slowly start shying away and finding out a different place that they can go and eat. So the people that slowly start changing their product quality is when they see a reduced clientele, and then the profits slowly go down. So the ones that succeed are the ones that say, hey, we want to use the best ingredients. So where we come in is we say, hey, you can still use this. Let's just cut the portion size down a little bit to fit where you're comfortable charging your customers at. And it's
Perfect.
stuff like that that just exponentially and how we can help our customers.
So the kind of three things that I took from that was that you guys work as a partner to your customers. Show your customers how to provide value instead of shopping on price, not only with you guys but with their customers. And I think the key thing was systems. Once you have a system in place as an owner, a lot of times that's duplicatable. And like you said, with employees that come and go or replacements, you don't have to sit there and spend time to retrain someone on how to do something. It's part of a system and it's pretty automated. And that makes life a lot easier for everybody.
Hmm.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to
Definitely.
add before we closed?
Well, I think it's important also with us partnering with our customers that you have somebody that's dedicated to your business. Um, like myself, any of my customers that I currently do business with, if they call, that they'll get a call back or they'll get their call answered right then. more times than not, that's how it happens. And it's important for a restaurant owner to know that they have their suppliers on board with them and they're dedicated to their business because it works both ways. It's about the best way I can summarize it.
Okay. So today we kind of talked about how to use you guys for the test kitchen, how a new business owner can come in and partner with you and take advantage of those opportunities, not only for the menu development, but also for layout and design of their business. We talked about when to get you guys involved. We talked about how to select the right partner, and how using one supplier can save you money on your food costs and how to control food costs ongoing. So, for my restaurant owners out there, if you have more questions for Nick, please do not hesitate to get in touch with him directly. His cell phone's on the screen, and just in case, that's 734-812-6867, and his email is on the screen as well. And for more information on the Restaurant Business Advisors Group and more modules similar to this with different subjects, please visit our website. That information is on the screen as well. Thanks for listening in.